Good evening, everyone, from the virtual Darlington Raceway for the Ultimate Summer Showdown. It's time to heat things up once again on NASCAR Heat. I'm Hannah Newhouse, joined as always by Russell Cox, otherwise known as Rusty Walrus. And Rusty, it's been a couple months since we were in the winter heat. Now it's time to do it all again, but for this Ultimate Summer Showdown here on the NASCAR Heat platform. Looking forward to it because these guys each and every time bring some entertainment.
Yeah, it feels so good to be back. I live for nights like tonight. We have 24 of the fastest drivers from Xbox and PlayStation taking the track at two. That's too tough to tame, so you know it's going to be insane. And you said it, we're building off the momentum from the Winter Heat Series, and the two champions are on the pole tonight, so they might carry that momentum themselves, so it's going to be fun to watch here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll get into the format a little bit later. But first, take a look here. We've got an 846 green flag for the Xbox drivers. They will roll off first, and then PlayStation a little bit later following the Xbox drivers. So the Xbox guys are going to lead us into green. You saw it at the beginning of the show, though. This is just the first race of a couple here in the Ultimate Summer Showdown. These guys are going to race for a chance to race their way into the finale. And we've got a pretty cool prize pack on the line. And let's take a look here at this prize pack and how everything is going to shake out and what you can win here in the Ultimate Summer Showdown, as well as that championship finale. So cool to have BenQ as well as Traction on board with us here for the Ultimate Summer Showdown. You can see here all of our drivers in the Xbox getting ready to go racing. We've got some familiar faces and some new faces. And Rusty, I forgot to mention this time around, these drivers, the top three will be locked in that finale. We did touch on that. But the winner gets a NASCAR racing experience if they cross that checkered flag, which is pretty cool for some of these guys.
Yeah, how cool is that? You go from the virtual world into the real life race car. That's like a dream come true. So yeah, they get their NASCAR racing experience voucher when they win this race, and then they go to the championship with the other top three qualifiers from both platforms. So there's some cool prizes on the line today, and also we're going to give away a prize later today thanks to our friends at BenQ and Mobius Gaming.
Yeah, always something to win here in NASCAR Heat. And of course, with Motorsports Game, this race, 55 laps, though, in total. Plenty of time to add a little bit of melee, add a little bit of disaster into this. But that's what we like to see. Not so much the melee and disaster, but even playing fields. We did say we've got our two past champions on the pole. We've got some hard hitters that have joined us not only from the Pro League, but also the Winter Heat as well that are going to take a swing at the Ultimate Summer Showdown. Everything panning up, though, for a great race here tonight at Darlington. You can take a look there. That track length, again, a little bit over a mile, so just enough to get those high speeds going. A little bit of a different shape as well. 55 laps. The track is too tough to tame. And that three-time tire wear, Rusty, that is going to be a big part in tonight's race.
Yeah, the three-time tire wear at Darlington, that's a place that shreds those tires. So they're looking at maybe 24, 25 laps before they come into pit. So they're looking at 2 pit stops here today if this thing goes green. But if it doesn't, a strategy is going to come into play definitely. But yes, 3-time tire wear, 3-time fuel consumption. So it's going to be these guys are going to have to be careful with how they manage their car throughout the race.
Now, I'm going to put you on the spot here before we get ready to go racing in the Xbox. You guys obviously follow this. You've watched some of these practice sessions and obviously integrated yourself very well here with the team at Motorsports Games and NASCAR Heat. Who are your eyes on in tonight's Xbox race? We've got two guys that are dabbling in both Xbox and PlayStation, that being Cody Giles and Tim Moore. They're running both, but who do you have your eyes on in this Xbox race?
You know, I always have my eyes on Daniel Buttafuoco and Justin Brooks. Those are the two best drivers. They came down to the last couple corners for the championship of Pro League Season 2. And it seems to come down that way every race on the Xbox side. But don't sleep on Louis Zader. He won the Winter Heat Series Championship. He's one of those guys, the more experience he gets, the faster he is, and the more competitive he is. So look out for Louis Zader. He is on the pole, but this is going to be a fun, competitive race.
Absolutely, it is. Again, all of these guys looking to lock themselves into that finale. Here's your starting order, though. That front row is Chase Williamson and Joe Gornick, Tim Moore and Joey Stone in row 2. You've got Maxwell Castro, Cody Giles into that third row. Everyone, and a little bit farther back here, Tom Flipcraft and newcomer Jamie Fowler, Casey Master in row 5, and Jordan Main and James Wilter rounding out that row 6.
All right, coming in row 7, we have Matthew Heel and Tyler Dohar, two of our Winter Heat Series drivers. A couple new drivers, Drew Joie, Nick Walker. He used to drive the 6 car. Anthony Lord, keep an eye on him, and Austin Green did not qualify, but a sleeper pick tonight. Jeff Noah in row 10. Cody Kelly is not in racing. We got Josh Taylor, who's in Greece. Mitchell Kelly, and Aaron Santiago.
Definitely going to be an exciting race. Nonetheless, there you can see your front row guys getting ready to take the green here. Again, obviously looking forward to it. So green is in the air here at Darlington.
Oh, here they go. Green flag, green flag, green flag. And you see them right away getting into single file. They don't want to be racing side by side. They're showing how important it is to just focus on the race, focus on racing the racetrack, and then get in line, and then thinking about the finish of the race, lap 1.
Yeah, Elijah White already making that move. Started off in the 6th spot, already up to 3rd, holding steadily. If you're going to follow anyone early on in this race, Daniel Buttafuoco, I feel like, is a great person to go ahead and latch your front bumper onto. He's got good strategy as far as playing it safe, knows how this pit window is going to play out. So does Elijah, though. Elijah's obviously ran with us in the Winter Heat Series as well. He's gained this experience. And so your front 3 right now, I would say, Rusty, are a pretty solid group if you're going to gauge your race off of.
Yeah, we're looking at Louis Zader still leading the field. He started on the pole, so he had the advantage of coming to green and kind of managing the restart, so he was able to keep the lead through 1 and 2. And I think Daniel Buttafuoco and Justin Brooks, they're content just riding behind Louis Zader until he starts maybe burning up his stuff, maybe making some mistakes. And that's what you got to do as a driver. You got to kind of wait for a guy to make mistakes out on the track, because it's narrow out there. Turn 1 and 2, you kind of got to follow behind him. Turns 3 and 4, there's a little bit of opportunity to maybe go underneath or the outside, as you see Buttafuoco kind of just being on his bumper, but they're staying patient, and they're just keeping Louis Zader right where they want him right now, as they're kind of pulling away from about 4th and 5th behind him.
Buttafuoco obviously has done this before and been successful. One of our Pro League champions from last year, has wound up a lot of cash over the years, and I know that a NASCAR racing experience would be something as a dream come true. We've seen him throughout the last couple seasons. He's always been decked out in whatever team apparel he has, and you know, he's told us time and time again, his goal one day is to be a race car driver, and however he gets there, whether it's through the NASCAR Heat platform, and that's just one step closer. But Buttafuoco and Zader starting to break away from that 3rd place group, including of White, Moore, and Giles. Again, Giles, with his work cut out for him tonight, Rusty, he's running both races.
Yeah, Cody Giles is one of our drivers, one of 2 drivers that is actually doing the double duty. So they're running the Xbox race here right now. And as soon as this one's over, he's hopping back in the driver's seat and driving in the PlayStation race. So a couple of our drivers are going to run over 100 laps here today, back to back. And that's definitely going to wear on you as a driver, because 55 laps with the fastest drivers on Xbox, that's going to really, really wear you down mentally, and just kind of take away your focus and kind of endurance towards the end of the race. So if you got to hop back in for that PlayStation race, I don't know. Maybe Cody Giles' mentality is get all you can get in this first race and then kind of cruise in the second one. But yeah, that's a lot to ask out of these drivers to go back-to-back races.
Yeah, we were just riding along with Tom Flitcroft, and we've jumped back now to Cody Giles, and we were just talking about running both of these races. Running in that 5th spot, Cody, obviously one of our veterans here on the NASCAR Heat platform, competes in a couple other places as well as here with us in the bobble there at the front of the field by what looked like was Louis Zader, your leader again over Daniel Buttafuoco. That group still running single file so far. Everyone's realized, like you said, Rusty, this is a pretty long race. We don't want to really do anything too hectic early on. The drivers have been warned that if they do anything as far as a single car spin, it could go under review and a caution may or may not be thrown. So obviously everyone not wanting to put themselves in a situation to go down laps and maybe not be a little bit too chaotic early on.
Yeah, you talked about it. It's really tough to pass. Oh, as you see Justin Brooks get by Danny Buttafuoco right now, and I think Danny Buttafuoco is keeping the big picture in mind right now. When you have a guy that's on your bumper, you're kind of thinking, should I let him go? Maybe it'll be faster if we just kind of work together here as we're riding on board Cody Giles in 4th place. But I think Danny Buttafuoco is just thinking big picture. Let's just let Justin Brooks pass me. Maybe I'll follow him. Maybe get some speed from him. Maybe I'll get a little bit of draft toe from him. The draft setting is set to low today, so you're going to get a little bit of a draft feel, especially towards the end of this backstretch down here. You're seeing Cody get a little bit of a sniff from it right there, but yeah, I think they're just racing the race right now. But this is kind of the point in the run where your tires are start to fade. Your car is going to come in maybe to your preference. So some guys start with a car that's really loose and then kind of gets into a comfort zone about 10 laps in, and then but other guys, they might just have kind of a solid one from start to finish. So it's kind of interesting to see the comers and goers early with Brooks and Buttafuoco.
And there you can go, our ticker just updating a little bit for us to go ahead and revamp our top 5 there. Louis Zader, Justin Brooks, Buttafuoco, Brooks, like you said, Rusty, on a move, and it never seems to fail. We've joked about it time and time again. If you could put a magnet on Justin Brooks and Daniel Buttafuoco, those two are going to find each other on the racetrack at some point. And as of recently, Zader's really thrown his name into that mix as well. So no surprise that those three are at the top of the board. Elijah White slipped back to the 6th spot. Tom Flitcroft with him as well. Couple movers as well. Jordan Bain up there in the top 10. Everyone still hanging out single file though, but Justin Brooks is really close to that gap on Zader, and while he looks patient, and he can be patient, Rusty, I don't foresee that really being the move that Brooks is going to take. I think he's going to try and take this lead and lead some laps.
Yeah, every time I think about Justin Brooks kind of riding in line, he kind of flips the switch and says it's go time. So look for Justin Brooks to maybe make a pass for the lead here in the next lap or two as he closes in on the bumper, Louis Zader. But Louis Zader, I got to give him credit. He's held on to that lead very strong, hasn't made any mistakes. He's been running some really clean lines. You see him kind of, he actually let Justin Brooks go right there in the backstretch. So that's what we talked about. You kind of got to do a little bit of give and take, and that was a really classy move for Louis Zader to pull over for the fastest car on the track right now in Justin Brooks. So a little bit of shakeup for the up front.
When we were just riding on there just a moment ago with Tim Moore, and it's had his gamer tag down below there, Ward Burton, which makes me laugh every single time, because if you know, you know exactly what he's getting at. As well as I think before I'd even met you, Rusty Walrus was probably one of the funniest ones as well. Love the play on it, love Ward Burton, and that Tim Moore has been able to complete that and join here in the Ultimate Summer Showdown. Getting a little sketchy though here in our top 5, really Brooks, who's taken the lead and checked out slightly. Your second, third, fourth, and 5th place runners right now, though, really starting to close that gap in race nose to tail.
Yeah, this is really impressive stuff from our drivers in the top 6 right here. But the drivers about 2 to 6, they're just nose to tail. They're pushing each other, and they're right there in case somebody slips or make a mistake. They're going to be able to pounce in advance. But really impressive run right now, I got to say, from Elijah White. He put it on Twitter today. He's got some speed from qualifying. He doesn't know if he has the long run speed, so keep an eye on Elijah White. He's one of those guys that's been in contention in every Winter Heat Series event, so maybe he's impressive himself early on, but I got to give him credit for hanging on to this lead pack early on. And you talked about Tim Moore, Ward Burton. He's one of our other drivers that's running back-to-back races, and we were running some races with him last night in some public lobbies, so it's fun to see Moore up there running up top in the top 5.
And Rusty, I want to talk to you about this without getting into too much detail of it. We've had a couple of names and a couple of drivers that have competed with us over the past couple of years within the Pro League, within the Winter Heat Series, including, Buttafuoco, Zader, Brooks, Giles. There's a couple as well on our PlayStation platform as well. And from the sounds of it, there's really started to be a Pro League versus newcomers, as this almost like veteran rookie, I don't even want to say tension, but competition. Do you think we could see some of that play out tonight?
Yeah, maybe not on the Xbox side, but I think if you're stay tuned tonight for the PlayStation side. We got a little bit of rivalry going on, I think, between some veterans and some of the guys trying to get into these events. Some of the new faces, new names, looking to make a name for themselves, kind of on this big stage, and they're going to go out there and race those guys as hard as they can to show what they have. Because like if you're out there, for example, right now racing against Brooks and Buttafuoco, and you're Tim Moore, Elijah White, and you can pass those guys, there's nothing better you can do to like kind of cement your resume to go out there in a big event like this and just make passes on the best in the business. So keep an eye on some of that style of racing later in the PlayStation side to maybe get a little aggressive.
One of those newcomers that we have talked about, we're riding along with right now. That is Drew. He is running in, I believe, the 14 Peak Mobile car here for the Stuart Haas scheme. You love to see it. Making one of his first starts here in the Ultimate Summer Showdown. A lot of new names that have joined us for this event, and again, are looking to run the whole event, but you have to qualify for each and every single one of these events. If you finish in the top 3, that locks you into the finale. So actually, after this race ends tonight at midnight, that opens up the qualifications for our next race, which is June 10th in Texas. So after tonight, that's when the qualification rounds start open. If you're liking what you're seeing, you can try and qualify for our next race. One of the things I love about the Ultimate Summer Showdown, as well as the Winter Heat that we put on, is really opening up those lobbies and letting anyone compete. Austin Green, though, that we ride along with now, started a little bit farther back in the 18th position. Now is running in the 21st position, one of the newcomers as well. Again, the field in the latter part of it has really started to branch out, everyone running single file with third. Well, I said that, and now we've got a battle for the second spot between Buttafuoco and Zader.
Yeah, you're going side by side at Darlington to 3 and 4. I can't believe they kept it clean here. You see Tim Moore trying to take advantage of Lewis Zader there as they get off into turn 1 and kind of wash up. They go right there. That's cool. They stayed out of the wall there. That's really tough to do when you got the draft working for you and build up all that momentum down the front straightaway. So it's good to see those guys keep it clean in a really hectic 3 and 4, because this is probably the tightest corners in the game, in NASCAR in general. So for them to showcase that ability to run side by side and keep it clean, I'm just very impressed early on here. But Lewis Zader still hanging on. He's top 5. They still got pit stops to do. His race is not over. He's still exactly where you want to be, and that's in that lead pack, right where you can see the leader. So we still got a lot of laps to go.
Yeah, we've had about 20 laps in the books with 34 to go. And I want to go back to you on this, Rusty. Our pit stops are going to happen roughly between 25 and 26 laps. Roughly splitting this race in half, give or take. How do you see these pit cycles playing out?
Yeah, 55 laps in the race. I think they're going to try to stretch the fuel as long as they can. At least the lead pack was. We see Justin Brooks apparently pulled off right there, right at the 20 lap mark. So he's sort of splitting this race into thirds. That's kind of the strategy I would play as a driver, but I've never led a race or don't know what I'm doing up front. So it's kind of shocking to see Brooks play this early strategy, kind of reveal his hand, and maybe he'll force some other guys to come down, because when you do come out with the fresh tires, you are going to get an advantage on the stopwatch. So it looks like everybody's going to follow Brooks into pit road right here right now. So hopefully the race kind of stays green and we don't have any issues in the pit road. And I gotta say, this is one of the toughest pit roads to enter in the game. When you come around turns 3 and 4, that entrance is completely blind. You cannot see that yellow pit entrance line until you're on top of it, and usually when you're on top of it, it's already too late and you're gonna get a speeding penalty. So keep an eye out for penalties after this round of pit stops.
Yeah, that was a wild pit stop there for Zader. I didn't know if he was going to get it slowed down or just go ahead and try and drift into pit road. But you can see here Buttafuoco, who we were riding along with, as well as Tom Moore. Buttafuoco, I believe, stayed out. I think we're on with Tim Moore right now, has slowed down and is coming down pit road. There's Buttafuoco still out on the racetrack. So weird to see that we're seeing a different group of people cycle in through a couple different laps. I'll be interested to see how Brooks plays out. But hey, you mentioned it, Rusty. There's a reason that we're commentating the races and not necessarily driving them, and probably for these reasons that we get to guess what some of these guys are doing. But they've been practicing many a times throughout the week, qualifying. These guys are not just jumping on tonight and winging it. I mean, like you said, Rusty, they've been putting in the laps and figuring out how exactly they can stretch this fuel mileage.
Yeah. And they look at Tyler Dohart real quick. He's probably the best dressed driver in the field. He's got the tie and shirt on. Maybe he came straight from work and hopped in the driver's seat. But look at him. I'm impressed with Tyler Dohart. What up, Dohart? But you said it. These guys, they practice for every single pitch strategy possible in the race. Like, no matter when the caution comes out, they're prepared to react, even be proactive to it. So, Danny Buttafuoco, he's running these races exactly. And see how it plays out. You see him off the farmhouse. a little bit different strategy or lead pack. So this is
Tyler Dohar, as we still ride along with him. Again, still not one of the drivers in almost like but a point. The leader of the two, obviously everyone's cycling. So with a couple different pit cycles, it'll be interesting to see if everyone shakes back out as they do come back to the finish. Justin Brooks regained that lead once Dohar and Green come down pit road. While Justin Brooks made with Darlington on the NASCAR platform, Brooks also a South Carolina native himself, not too far from Darlington. So, hey, if he wins this, we'll have to ask him if he was able to catch the NASCAR race just a few weeks ago at Darlington, Too Tough to Tame, and how cool it would be. Maybe he could take that NASCAR racing experience for a couple laps. I'm not sure if they race there. I'll have to check that out, but it'd be a pretty cool experience for him. In this shakeup, though, you've got Cody Giles, Lewis Zader, and Elijah White that kind of cycled through with him. Dohar and Green, though, maybe going to try and split this halfway. They're really pushing in, as I say it, Dohar down pit road, just waiting for Green to do so too. Rusty, do you think how Dohar and Green have split this? 28 laps to go. 26 is what we're being told. Could these two maybe try and cut it halfway?
You know, if they waited this long to pit, I think that's the strategy. And knowing Dohar, he always comes prepared to save a little fuel. So keep an eye on Dohar to not come in a second time. He might be trying to save fuel to get to the end of this race, and that could play out in a very interesting way. But I think that is the current strategy for Tyler Dohar, and he's going to be running on fumes, I think, in the last lap when he just came down that lap. So keep an eye on Tyler Dohar to cycle back towards the front and really kind of just hang on and just start back. Just running, just obviously the lap times are going to be slow. Keep an eye on Dohar and let Dohar maybe steal one.
As we've cycled back through 27 laps to go, Justin Brooks is your current leader. He's put some space between himself and Cody Giles, Lewis Zader, Elijah White, Tom Flitcroft, for current top 5, and also names had in the Tom Flitcroft, one of those drivers that has improved immensely over the last couple of races. So the last some good later on in the team, and really shown that he's done time over the last month. Showdown. It's been fun to watch thus far, but so far, Giles still in that second spot. Start to make his way back, not in the top 10. Right car running 16. See a couple of two. Trying to make a pass on the 77 of Tim Moore. So that's wow, in the 7th spot.
Yeah, Tim Moore's still got a really strong race running right now. I mean, if you're running a top 10 in one of these Ultimate Summer Showdown races, you have a successful day with 24 cars out there. I think you'd be happy to bring it home top 10. I know he was running top 5 earlier, but I think hanging on right now in a long green flag run, I think he'd be proud of this run here today. We talked about Flitcroft in the 20, very strong run to kind of move his way forward. He's one of these other guys we see race on the Xbox side and some of the league racing with Frozen Toes, and Tom Flitty, he puts on a little bit of a show, so it's cool to see the 20 car making some moves, making his way to the front. I'm still keeping an eye on Elijah White. He's slowly working his way forward, just hovering right in that 4th and 5th place zone. That's where he seems to run every single one of these events, and he's one of our new names and faces to these NASCAR Heat events, so impressive run for Elijah White as well. But Justin Brooks right now, still leading the race over Cody Giles, but Cody Giles has got him right where he wants him, and Cody's the guy that's going to be there at the end. He's kind of saving his stuff. He's going to run smooth, consistent, just safe laps. So Cody Giles, he's won some of these events. It looks like we have a driver pulling off the pit road right now. But yeah, we might have a big one. Hannah, what's going on?
Trying to figure out here as we rode along with one of the drivers that looked like we thought was pitting. Apparently that was not the case, so caution is out on the racetrack here at Darlington with 22 laps to go. Yeah, Rusty, I am not sure what happened there, but before we get there, that 12 car has to be one of my all-time favorite paint schemes. Absolutely beautiful paint scheme there. Love to see that here on the NASCAR Heat 5 platform, but caution's out. We'll have to see what that was that caused it, though, because obviously we're on the roof cam of one of these guys, and I'm not really sure what happened.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a replay after this race and take a look. But the yellow is out, and that's going to be a big game changer. It totally ruined Tyler Dohar's pit strategy. But yeah, it's going to really even out the field right now. We'll see where people are on the lead lap or not. Maybe Buttafuoco is trapped a lap down. We'll take a look here once we go to green. But this is an interesting time of the race. I think they're all going to come down, put fresh tires on that car. Maybe some guys will take right sides but to get track position. But it looks like they all are handling business, put forward, and got enough fuel to make it to the end here.
And this should pan out well for a lot of these guys, like you said. So they're going to come back here to take the green flag here at Darlington. 19 laps to go in the Xbox Series in the first race of the Ultimate Summer Showdown. Wow, quick to the bottom there. Zader on the bottom of Giles, trying to keep him pinned to the outside. He'll do so and clear him for the second spot. Brooks now still your leader. Ooh, one bounced off the wall, which looked like was Brower, able to hold on to it, but slowly drops back. A couple drivers playing pinball, Rusty, with each other.
Yeah, exit of turn 2 at Darlington is one of the most chaotic corners in racing as we see some contact through 3 and 4. When you get on that apron, you're getting turned around, and I think we're going to see a yellow for a wreck in the back of the pack, and there it is, Hannah. And we're getting to that point in the race where once we start seeing a yellow, guys are going to start sending and going for it. But you got to talk about the exit of turn 2 at Darlington. There's a little patch on there. If you're not perfectly straight on the exit of that corner, you might go spinning sideways and kind of taking out the field. We saw a driver try to maybe get back in line. Oh, let's get the replay here. Oh, yeah, they tried. Yeah, it's tough to enter turn 3, 2-3 wide. And yeah, when you get on the apron right there, you get a little bit sideways and you had a little bit of help from the 13. But that's just racing at Darlington. It's the tightest track in the circuit. So it's just hard racing.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like I said, sometimes you're the ping pong paddle, sometimes you're the ball. And in this case, it looked like Eric Santiago was the ball in that case. And Daniel Buttafuoco just finished him off for him. So caution again, still out. 15 laps to go here when we take the green flag. This now puts Zader and Brooks on your front row. Cody Giles in the second row, with outside of him the 12 of Elijah White. So green flag back in the air. Interesting to see what Zader does here, because he looks like he's found a new mission from the front row.
And there you go. He pulls right in line there. That's perfect execution for Louis Zader to get up through the gears and pull behind Brooks. Oh, we see the leader getting the ball off it too. That's the new trouble spot for the rest of the race. But Louis Zader clutch to get in behind Brooks. As we saw Cody Giles kind of give up the outside in P2 on the previous restart. But Louis Zader is right there on the heels of Justin Brooks with 14 to go. We see it. We talked about it. He's got the speed. He's got the ability. Can he close it out and pass one of the best in the business with an impressive win to kick off round 1 at Darlington?
Yeah, that would be impressive indeed. Again, everyone, I feel like in your top 7 frothing at the bit here for this first win to carry that momentum. And again, your top 3 as they run, Brooks, Zader, and Giles, would lock themselves in to our finale. So everyone wanting that security of being able to try and qualify for the next couple events, try their hand at one of those NASCAR racing experiences, but ultimately having that lock-in position to the finale. But Louis Zader, we're riding along with him with our BenQ Mobius driver spotlight there in your bottom. Love having them as a partner for the Ultimate Summer Showdown. And Giles trying to do everything he can to reel in that group. But your top 4 really starting to break away from the 5th place of Tom Flitcroft. Brooks looks like he's driving with not a stress in the world, even though he's got Zader breathing down his neck.
Yeah, I'm always impressed with Brooks. You always wait for him to make a mistake, but it never comes. It never happens. Maybe today might be the day if Zader can keep the pressure on him, maybe get a little bit of draft down one of these back stretches or on the front stretch. You maybe force an error, maybe get your nose underneath it right now. But you start to see Zader, he was fading just a little bit, but Brooks is going to put the power down here, get some good momentum down the front stretch. But yes, Zader and Giles are going to have to run perfect laps if they want to get to the bumper of Brooks, and they're going to have to be in faster if they want to pass him, and that's just a whole completely another challenge. As you take a look at the back of the pack, these guys are just kind of having fun, beating it big. This is what I love about Darlington, when you when you just want to get to racing, you just see them making the exit of turn 2 work. That's cool to see them make it through there, but we got that's some fun, hard racing at Darlington.
Yeah, hats off to Jordan Bain in that 19 machine, being able to hold on to it, as well as the 3 of Austin Green, as it looks like in the 24, the Liberty University mill. That is Mitchell Kelly really starting to make some headway moving forward. He's now caught up to the 51 of Matthew Heel, who's ran with us for a couple races as well as in the Pro League. So Mitchell Kelly really putting on a good show this evening in one of his debuts. Wow, everyone really just spreading out there, and back up onto the race surface. That was a close call for a couple of these drivers, but you got to commend, and I spoke too soon. 2 in the wall, hard. That is Jacob Brower, goes around, takes with him a handful of other drivers. Definitely going to see a caution on this one.
Oh, this one, this is not what the leaders wanted to see a caution kind of in the back of the pack. Maybe an avoidable caution there. The 2 kind of got up in the wall. Might have been avoidable, maybe not. You'd have to kind of be in the driver's seat in their hands to kind of know. But we're going to take a look at the exit of turn 2 right here. This is the trouble spot. Let's see what happens here with Matthew Heel. Yeah, yep. That's just the exit of turn 2. He spun those tires and he kind of hooked it right. So that's just that's what happens when you're really going for it at Darlington. As the tires fade, it's tough to focus and make sure you hit your marks. Yeah, and that's what brought out the caution.
Yeah, Jacob Brower ultimately getting into that wall and making contact with a couple people in it. You can tell here in this shot, which is a great shot, you can tell the progressive banking that we have at Darlington, and you've mentioned it, Rusty. Getting down on that apron will so quickly upset these race cars if you're not smooth in the transition back onto the racing surface. So definitely a tough aspect of this race to maneuver with only 6 laps to go. Green flag is back in the air, and we have a taker in the front row that is a little bit something we haven't seen thus far. Anthony Lord started on the front row and looks like he may be dropping rather quickly, Rusty.
Oh yeah, he played this strategy game, and I thought I heard him maybe wreck behind the field right there. But you got to do what you got to do. You're kind of in the main event with 5 to go. Maybe try a little bit of strategy to see if you can steal top 5, top 10. But you saw after turn 1 and 2, that game plan kind of went out the window, and you can't even see him on screen right now. So yeah, Anthony Lord's day went from looking maybe kind of exciting to just downhill pretty quick. So unfortunate for him, but I think he might be back at Texas in future races through the qualifiers. So keep your head up, bud. We'll see you running up front soon. But look at the battle up front right now. This is gonna be a good one to the finish, Hannah.
Yeah, Tim Moore already in the battle here, pushing Buttafuoco. Elijah White now trying to make a bottom move on Cody Giles. Side by side, those two. Justin Brooks, though, no sweat out front currently with Louis Zader on his bumper. Zader more probably focused on his rear view mirrors. The battle heats up for 3rd and 4th, though. Your top 5 all really in grasp of this win. 3 laps to go. But if Brooks, he knows how to do this, Rusty. He's been in the position where he needs to make every move perfect to clinch a win, and I think he's capable of that this evening.
And I gotta ask, and I gotta wonder, what tires does he have under his car right now? Keep a look on the lead gap between Zader and Brooks. You can start to see Zader maybe close the deal here, maybe with a lap or 2 to go. But Brooks is extremely impressive. He's gonna have to be perfect. It'll be interesting to see what happens if Zader does get there.
Absolutely. 2 laps to go here at Darlington Ultimate Summer Showdown for our Xbox One drivers. We've got plenty more coming up in a little bit with our PlayStation drivers, so you're not going to want to miss that. Ooh, the 95 trying to make a move here late in the race. Everyone bobbing and weaving down the front stretch. Should be the white flag here this next time by. Final lap for the Xbox drivers. Brooks, Zader, Giles, White, your current top 4 runners. Does anyone have anything for him?
It looks like this is Justin Brooks' race. I think he's going to seal the deal here. He's going to have to make it kind of a clean 3 and 4. He runs a very safe entry into there. He ran it high. That's what you want to do, and he's going to get the runoff. And congratulations to Justin Brooks. He's going to win race 1 at Darlington.
And there it is. Awesome win for Brooks over Zader. Giles, of course, Elijah White trying to get to that 3rd spot. Unable to do so. So those 3 locked into the finale, which is definitely a sigh of relief for them. But what a cool win for Justin Brooks at what he can call his home track here on the NASCAR Heat 5 platform. Brooks just continuing to add to the resume, Rusty.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? I mean, it's the winningest driver in NASCAR Heat side of things. He just continues to just lead laps, dominate. And we talked to him in the Winter Heat Series. Once he figured out strategy, it's like the only person that's going to beat him is himself, or maybe a little bit of late race contact. But yeah, congratulations again to the man, Justin Brooks.
Yeah, and he had a close call there again. Buttafuoco, I expected to see him a little bit farther up. He was up there early on, got on that different pit cycle, seemed to have found himself in the hornet's nest for most of the race, and wasn't able to recover, which is a little bit out of character, that I would say, from Daniel Buttafuoco. Would you agree?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see him stay out later than all the leaders because he was running there in the top 5, and that really put him back. Maybe he had a penalty as well that set him even further back, but he had to race his way all the way back up through the field, and that's impossible to do, especially when yellows come out. It's just, you talked about, it's a hornet's nest. It becomes almost impossible to kind of get back into the top 5 once you're out of there because guys are just sending it and going for it, racing as hard as they can. So I think Daniel Botafuco might be disappointed with his day, but he's going, he's going to be back and he's going to win one of these races and probably find his way in the finale. But we'll see. A lot of these guys are making some names for themselves and kind of showcase their talent. So he doesn't have an easy path to the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Brooks and Zader, as well as Cody Giles, locked into that championship finale. But you know that they're going to return and try and race their way in, obviously, for the rest of them. But take a look here if you joined in a little bit late on the highlights here from our Xbox race. And while not the best night for some, they obviously have another shot at it, or a couple shots at that. But Justin Brooks walking away with that victory. We got to know that he's excited for that win, Rusty, to say the least.
Yeah, I hope we can talk to him, maybe get an interview, maybe some quotes out of the guy. But yeah, he's the most impressive driver in the NASCAR heat. But yeah, congratulations again to our top 3 finishers that are going to advance to our finale.
Yeah, and let's take a look here at the rest of the field and how everyone shook out when the checkered flag flew. Reboot that there real quick to get those results for you guys. Again, some of those drivers, including Daniel Botafuco, as well as a few others, maybe not having the run that they wanted. Elijah White also up there in the top 5, top 7, and some newcomers that have really turned some heads, Rusty, that I feel like will be impressive as the season continues to go forward.
Yeah, I'm looking at kind of the finishing order. I'm impressed with just Tom Flitty. That's Tom Flitcroft, and same for Ward Burton. That's Timothy Moore. He's going to actually run the second race, come up here on PlayStation. But I like to see these guys that are kind of qualified into the Ultimate Summer Showdown events that weren't in the Pro League, and kind of just show that they got the talent to compete. And I think they're going to be proud of their days today to go out there and run with a Brooks, Botafuco, Luis Zader. Those are some big time names and race winning drivers. So I think if they've shown they can run with them, I think they might have eventual race winning speed.
Now, I have to ask here, we know that you'd mentioned, Cody Giles and Tim Moore that are running both of these. Obviously, one's running on PlayStation and then the other on Xbox. But what do you think? I mean, Cody's locked in now here on the Xbox platform. Did he learn enough that you think he's going to have an advantage maybe going into the PlayStation race?
I think he's just got some confidence and just being comfortable. Now that he knows he has nothing to lose, he's just going to kind of go out there and run his race. And that's the best feeling in the world, when you can just go out there and do your thing and not have to worry about anything. You don't have to pressure on it. You can just go run your race. So it would be cool to see him maybe get a double lock into the finale. But I'm just curious how his just endurance and just how his mental game is going to be towards the end of this PlayStation race, to see if he can still run those fast laps.
Yet another storyline going into the PlayStation race, but we do have your results for you here from the Xbox race. Take a look at them on how everyone shook out. Justin Brooks, Zader, and Cody Giles, we've talked about it, your top three, and a great run by Elijah White and Timothy Moore. But Afuko still was able to rally back to that 6th spot. You'd mentioned it, Rusty, Tom Flitcroft with a pretty good 7th place run.
We got Jose Ruiz coming in 8th place. He's one of our Pro League drivers, so a really solid day to come home 8th. And then Josh Taylor right behind him, Jeremy Nobles, Casey Messer, and Jeff Noe rounding out the top 12.
Tyler Dohar, Matthew Heel, Austin Green, Eric Santiago. Santiago obviously involved in one of those wrecks, as well as a couple other drivers. Nick Walker not able to finish that race. Anthony Lord back there, as well as Mitchell Kelly. That there, your Xbox final results, and we've got even more coming up next here for you guys. A lot going on here, but first we're going to talk to our winner here of Justin Brooks. Yet another win here in the NASCAR Heat platform. You're winning at what we're going to call your home track here of Darlington Raceway. The excitement when you crossed the start finish line, and hey, you get to take a ride in a NASCAR racing experience. We'll take that as so much excitement that he had to turn his camera off. He was absolutely speechless in that moment, a man of so many words. You know that he's excited, Rusty. We just have learned to read through the lines of Justin Brooks.
We got a good feeling what he said out there, but it still would have been cool to hear his just a reaction after that race. And I got a feeling he's just got, there he is. All right, what's up, Justin?
Can you hear us now, Justin?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We'll try this again. Winning here at your, basically your home track here of Darlington Raceway. You're from South Carolina. You've just started the Ultimate Summer Showdown with a win. Your confidence now going into the rest of the events, and how cool to get a win at your home track.
Oh, it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's Darlington, too tough to tame. Like, not everybody can say they won in one of these races. I mean, it's like the first esports NASCAR Heat event they've had here, and to say I won here is pretty awesome. We had a really good car today. I just dialed it in last night with a few adjustments, and it really paid off. Like, it was really fast on a long run. It was even with everybody else at the beginning part of the run, but I could just maneuver through traffic like I did with Daniel and Lewis there at the beginning, and just set myself in a good spot. And that caution fell in our favor because people were trying to save gas and make it. And we're all just going all out and just stayed out front, kept it clean, and brought home the W.
And I got to follow that up and ask you, you just won at Darlington. You won pretty much every racetrack there is in the NASCAR Heat. What motivation, or what motivation did you carry into the Ultimate Summer Showdown for this week to just kind of go out there and win again? Like, are you carrying any just extra focus coming in, just to get your first ever championship?
I mean, after how the Pro League season ended and the Winter Heat season or championship ended, I mean, it's all the motivation in the world to come out here and do the best I can after what happened in both of those. I feel like we should have won one of those, if not both, but I mean, it's just come out here to prove myself again. I feel like I always have to prove myself every time I get behind the wheel, and that's all it boils down to.
And you've done it once again here. Again, congratulations, Justin. Looking forward to the next couple events. We know that your Redemptions Tour, as you said it, has started here in the first race of the Ultimate Summer Showdown, and I have no doubt you'll be one to contend with each and every race. So again, congratulations.
Yep. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Russell.
Again, that is Justin Brooks, your winner here in the first race, the Xbox platform of the Ultimate Summer Showdown here. We're going to take a quick break, though, here because we've got something pretty cool from our friends over at Live Fast.
Oh, these setups are awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's been an incredible day. Just got to see a lot of cool stuff. There's definitely a lot here that you don't see every day, and getting on these cool simulators and running some laps with Matt and some other people. It's just been a lot of fun. And
come back from 28th to 8th, you got to take out Juliet here.
Honestly, I hadn't been on one of these this kind, and it was just pretty cool to see, you know, the accuracy of how everything feels. I mean, it was just a lot of fun.
I need to get something like this.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about I need a room at my house now with these in them.
Super cool to come see motorsport games, you know, starting out the season with the new team of Live Fast Motorsports.
It's fun, man. I mean, I miss being in the driver's seat, but the cool thing is for people like myself who grew up on NASCAR video games is this is a great experience you can have at home, go play online with your buddies. It's just, that part of it makes it so fun, and it's why I got into racing.
We actually got it. It was a racing incident, but he got into me at Darlington, and I think it was 19, and it was pretty funny. And then we get on these things, and he wrecks me instantly. So I think he just likes to do that.
Oh, come on.
I didn't know that was you.
Yeah, I didn't do so well the first race, but I got my bearings back a little bit. I think I got the best out of the 4 of us in the second one, but some computer guys got us on there from the AI guys.
It was cool to get back on and race against Matt a little bit. That's been something I've missed, but it's been awesome starting this team with him. And yeah, it's 2 months into Live Fast, but him and I are over a decade in together, and I've watched that kid grow up. Like, I mean, now it's weird because I'm working with a man, but it's like when he was with me before, he was a boy. You know, it was like he's my little brother, and now I guess maybe he's still a little brother type, but it's more that, you know, we're business partners in this thing, and it's definitely a part that I get to see that he doesn't. You know, it's like it's something that is, because I'm the older one, it's just really cool to see what he's done with his life, and especially the things he's been through, and to be where he's at right now, I just really am, and I look up to that. No dirty driving, Matt.
I will be fine.
Play nice.
Till the last lap.
Our friends at BenQ obviously bringing the best in the business when it comes to those gaming monitors, and we want everyone to know how incredible their stuff is, Rusty. And that being said, we're giving one away.
Yes, and the winner of the BenQ NASCAR E5 Ultimate Summer Showdown giveaway is Bradford Deitzler. You are the winner of the BenQ EX2510 monitor. So congratulations again to Bradford Deitzler, and thank you to BenQ and Mobius Gaming for helping us out with this giveaway. I think we're gonna have another one coming soon, so keep an eye on social media.
I love it. I want Rusty to give away stuff all the time. The excitement, the build up to it. We're just going to let you start raffling stuff off all the time, Rusty. But before we raffle any more stuff off, we need to head over to our Zoom call. Check out our drivers that are getting ready for our PlayStation race, because they are up on tap. You can see it there. You can never miss Joe Gornick's hair. For some reason, that is the first thing I always see when we get on these Zoom calls, Rusty.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Where's Joe? I can't even find the guy, but I see the bear down at the bottom. I see Maxwell Cash. Oh, there's Joe Gornick. Yeah, keep an eye on Joe Gornick. He's got the hair, but he's also got the speed. This guy is going to be one to watch in this race coming up.
Hey, I see a guy too also with an Idaho shirt on. I need to figure out who that is, because that is while my hometown. I'm actually in Pennsylvania at the moment, calling this race from a hotel room. So we're going to put that out there right now, that if you hear anything strange, hear any wild noises, or you simply just lose me, I'm apologizing ahead of time. Thanks for working with me, because Best Western Internet is not always the greatest. You got to love it. Well, that being said, we've got some time to get ready for that PlayStation raid. Those guys are going into the lobby right now. If you're just joining us, I'm Hannah Newhouse, joined as always by my co-host here of Rusty Wallace. And again, this is the second race here for, well, first race for our PlayStation drivers, but second race of the evening for the Ultimate Summer Showdown here on NASCAR Heat. If you missed the first one, here's how the second race here is going to shake out in the race details. We've got 55 laps of total in this track length here of a little over a mile here at Darlington Raceway. 55 laps, just enough to shake things up with some pit strategy, and also that 3-time tire wear. Rusty, I'm going to let you hit on it one more time here. That is going to be a real big game changer.
Yeah, the Times 3 tire wear at any track is a big deal, but at Darlington, it's an even bigger deal. So they're going to shred those tires. They're going to burn the fuel, and it's probably going to last them maybe 24, 25 laps. And we saw some guys, they have the ability to stretch it if they practiced it and got it built in the car. They can maybe stretch it to maybe 27, 28. Maybe. We'll see if they can do it like Tyler Dohar. But yeah, keep an eye on that 24 to 25 lap window. But guys did come in at lap 20 just to come and get those fresh 4 tires.
Well, we know these guys are ready to get after it. You can see them here, ready to go. That is your front row. Take a look at how everyone shakes out. Chase Williamson, our winter heat champion. Joe Cornick, obviously a great improvement here. Tim Moore, double duty. Joey Stone, Max Castro, Cody Giles, row 3. Mike Ross and Derek Merriman in row 4. Chris Burkey and Tyler McCurder in row 5. Thomas Bowden and Chase Durheim in row 6.
We're going to take a look at row 7 here with Josh Harbin, the Bear, and Jordan Durasic. I got your name right, Jordan. Shout out to Jordan Durasic, Matthew McGovern, Joe West. That's John. So good luck, Joe West. That's Zano, and this young and the best. That's Hamilton.
Your starting order there for the PlayStation race. A lot of familiar names, a lot of newcomers as well. That front row definitely going to be a tough one to beat. Williamson, again, the Winter Heat Championship, looking to start the Ultimate Summer Showdown with a win. Joe Gornick on the outside of him. They should be coming to the green flag, I believe. Now, Rusty, I'll let you call the green flag.
This is a tense moment here. They're going to have to follow Chase Williamson's lead here, but this is going to be the crucial part of the race to see how they can get off into single file and maybe clear through 1 and 2. And the green flag is out. Green flag, green flag, green flag. And we're already 3 wide, heading off into turn 1 for the PlayStation race. What a pass from Maxwell Castro.
Maxwell Castro wasting no time to try and get up there and contend. Already got one spinning on the bottom, down across the apron. We'll have to see if anyone else is involved or collected, how they will call it, and see if a caution flag will fly. But Williamson, right now, your leader in the 78. Still green flag racing, though.
Ooh. Hey,
well,
like
maybe not.
Yellow for that.
Yellow is being thrown.
Yeah, it looks like they threw a yellow. I think somebody got down on the apron, and there's not much traction down there underneath that white dotted line. There's some stuff up towards the top, and you get below there, you're making on that wheel, put the gas up, and you can take it. Yeah. 43 got up the wall, and came down to the 14, had a little bit of help to hook around there, but that's what happened when you down the apron, you turn around really fast. Yellow. Came out and probably staying out with the guys in the back with the top off on gas. Yeah, don't look for much shake.
We ride on board with Chase Williamson on your front row, the 24 on the outside of him. Green flag, black in the air. That is the 24 of Sloppy Joe, Joey Stone. You probably know him from many a times here in the NASCAR Heat platform. Starting on that outside, Gornick now on the inside in the 88 Junior Motorsports Mobile, or I'm sorry, Hendrick Motorsports, JRM, Joe Cornick. That is improvement from him we've seen over between the Pro League and then into the Winter Heat, continuing to improve here with this great qualifying run, and we know he's looking to get a good run. But down on the apron, and I spoke soon. Couple cars around, including Cornick, looked like he was involved in that. Big wreck here, Rusty.
Yeah, we really gonna have to get a replay at that. It looked like Joey Stone completely lost power out of the exit of the corner there, so he kind of pulled to the inside. We'll have to get kind of definitive proof on a replay, but yeah, Joey Stone was running P2 with Joe Cornick right behind him, but yeah, well, kind of curious issue out of turn 4, only 5 laps into this thing.
Yeah, they definitely have a different game plan than our Xbox drivers did a little bit earlier. And we're getting word from race control. Apparently, Joey Stone said his pedals broke, which is definitely an issue here when it comes to being able to drive a race car. You need to have those pedals, Rusty.
Yeah, Joey Stone's one of those guys that consistently runs top 5, but something seems to happen every single time he's up there. So losing the pedals, that's a new one for Joey. A little bit of heartbreak, but the race is far from over. But you see a little bit of shake-up up front. His strategy's starting to play out.
Yeah, you said that strategy. We've already cycled through. Our leader was Chase Williamson. He now restarts in the 10th spot. That puts the 21 of Smith, Bassey, Hamilton, Pittman, McCurder, now top 5. So a complete shakeup of who was able to come down pit road. Looks like some of the drivers went on back were the ones that did come down pit road. Interesting to see. I'm sure some probably did have damage, but Williamson already making some risky moves, trying to bob and weave his way through the front. He's bringing with him, trying to follow through west. You've got Josh Harbin as well, right in front of him. Harbin, not a bad guy to try and hook your bumper to and move forward, but I'm wondering here, I would assume, Rusty, no one took tires.
I think Chase Williamson might have taken 4, so that's why he went back to about 10th on the restart there. But when we were riding on board on there, that was kind of the guy you want to be with. Chase Williamson might be the most aggressive driver in NASCAR heat right now, but he's also one of the fastest, if not the fastest. So he's not afraid to kind of put his car in kind of sketchy positions and try to make up a pass. But you're seeing right here, Tim Moore. Oh, we got another yellow. But yeah, this is definitely going to cycle the strategy again, because I think the leaders are going to want to come down and maybe, well, for sure take fuel and gas so they can kind of limit to a one-stop race at this point. But yeah, Chase Williamson is going to be the guy to watch. He was on the pole. He won the Winter Heat Series. He's got some work to do to get himself back out front again.
Yeah, we always joke that cautions breed cautions, but we usually say that, Rusty, when we have, I don't know, 10, 15 laps to go. We have 45 laps to go here in this 55-lap race. Everyone clearly wanting that front-running position. Honestly, anyone right now, they're all just wanting any position they can get, and they're not afraid to throw some elbows to do so. So we'll cycle back through after this caution lap. Should put us about 43 laps to go. Like you said, this will shake things up, allowing a couple other drivers to come down pit road. Again, we've got a new front row from the looks of it. Williamson maybe picking up a spot or two in that attempt to get back to the front. But green flag should be in the air here once again at Darlington. Again, this is your your PlayStation race with Smith, Massey, Pittman, and wait for it, Durosic. I'm going to get this right by the end of the race. In the 4th spot, Castro also winning the
You absolutely nailed it. And that battle for 4, 5, and 6, that's going to be one. Oh, whoa! Exit at turn 2. Oh, comes through again. That is the trickiest spot probably in the game and in the schedule. So those guys, it just shows you things can happen quick, even with 24 of the best and the fastest on PlayStation. But you said it, Hannah. Once these L's start coming out, it's just kind of like no holds barred, and they start going for it. Maybe a little bit of payback, no patience. I mean, you're supposed to race the racetrack, but I think they're kind of just full sending kind of racing each other out there, if that's what you want to call it. But hey, exit at turn 2. It's very, very tough to do if you're side by side, and if you're pushing, literally there's nowhere to go. It's so, it's just a very narrow exit of the corner. You got to hit it perfect, because if you hit that little patch, you're gonna whip it around and take out the field and cause a big one like we just saw. But yeah, the leaderboard is getting shaken up once again. And let's take a look at the replay here.
I just see multiple wrecks happening in multiple places, Rusty, and I would love to be a fly on the wall right now. Our good friend, obviously, Jay Pennell, running race control, making those decisions in these guys' ears the entire time as well. And you know conversations are being had right now. Green flag back in the air, 39 to go. We've cycled through once again. New leader, though, Josh Harbin again, one of the veterans here on the NASCAR Heat platform, part of the Pro League as well, but a newcomer of McMurder, Montgomery, West, Berkeley, Bassey Smith, and then we've got Castro, who's one of our Pro League drivers as well, starting to work his way up. That's who's riding along now in the Gear Wrench Mobile, trying to catch up to that other group of drivers in front of him, roughly your top 5. You can throw a blanket over, but Castro seems to be carrying a lot of speed right now.
Yeah, Castro might be on the preferable strategy right now with more tires and more gas. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, you can see him slowly start to gain on those guys in front of him. He runs a perfect 1 and 2. The way he gets up to the top of the hill and kind of is just full throttle down through the exit at 2. But he's gaining a little bit, maybe feeling a little bit of the draft effect right here. But keep an eye on Maxwell Castro. Let's see how he handles 3 and 4. This is a really technical corner. It almost kind of drives like a short track in this game, and you got it. It's kind of. Guys take it a little bit different. You can kind of just send it off in there, take it off the gas, or you can get on the brakes and kind of just manage your arc that way. You're hitting your apex right in the center, or you can kind of diamond it and float up. But just every driver kind of handles it differently, and they set up the car differently forward as well. But Maxwell Castro is on the move, moving forward. And I got to briefly mention Josh Harbin is hey, we'll see. A little bit of give and take right there. 14 gave him the peak, but he's showing him a lot of respect right there, giving Castro the bottom. So I like seeing that racing out of Castro and Perky there for the top 5.
And we got a battle for the lead with Harbin and McMurder. McMurder was trying to make that bottom groove work, unable to do so. Is kind of tucked back in behind Harbin, but running about a lane higher and then a lane lower, really trying to just see where he can pick up that ground on Harbin. Wouldn't be surprised if one of them makes a move. They've kind of got a little draft going with 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now. Castro really being the big push in all of this, so Harbin just simply on defense mode. Taking a step back here, though, to the Catmobile of the 8 of Bass. Ooh, Bobble and Mike Ross hard in the wall outside. Looks like he'll take a couple guys with him.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate incident between Mike Bross. Looked like Joey Stone and the 8 car right there. Mike Bross, enjoy your buddies. We'll have to see a replay to kind of get a definitive answer what happened, but when you're on top of each other like that on the exit of the corner, it's really tough to kind of keep off of each other. So tough to say off that initial just glimpse right there. But yeah, Josh Harbin. Hey, let's take a look first. Oh, here we go, Mike. Yeah, Mike Bross sent it down to the 3 and 4. That's what you got to do if you're trying to race forward. That's racing. Maybe got a little bit of. Oh, you might have spun the tires on the exit of 2. Maybe a little bit of help, maybe a combination. But yeah, Mike Bross knows what happened. He's the only guy that probably knows what happened right there with the wheel and the pedals underneath it. But yeah, tough incident for the driver.
Yeah, if I had to make a call, I'd say that Mike Bross had so much momentum, maybe tried to even clear himself up above Joey Stone, and hey, just got a little bit of assistance. But that happens here when you're carrying so much speed into a pass. But green flag back in the air. You can see here Chase Williamson, who was our leader, now runs in the 12th spot, right smack in the middle of our 24-car field, trying to work his way forward, but has been able to do so with all of these cautions. Joey Stone there on the outside of him, though. Whoa. What are some of these guys thinking? Hornet's Nest. Everyone keep it together. Come on, let's go. We got 31 laps to go here at Darlington with the PlayStation drivers. Williamson, though, just went from 12th to 9th, able to do so. And I'm sorry, correction, I thought Stone was in the 8 car. He's not. He's in the 24 car. Switch up here for me on my my roster. Used to seeing Stone in the 4 car. Harbin, though, able to really start to pull a lead here with Durasic and McMurder now in your 2nd and 3rd spot.
Yeah, Josh Harbin, he qualified, in his opinion, a disappointing 13th, but he told us last night, hey, it's not about lap 1. You got to take care of your stuff. You're not going to get the lead early. So just be patient. Passing's going to be tough, but if you have patience and run the right strategy, you'll work your way forward. And we got another yellow on the racetrack. Who knows what happened back there, but that might be the biggest wreck of the night. All right. We got a traffic jam back here, but we'll reset them here and re-rack them. But yeah, I think we had a big one there in around 10th place.
Yeah, we got a parking lot here at Darlington. It's not necessarily what you want to see. Josh Harbin, though, probably liking this situation. He's been... Ooh, that is just a product of getting spun at the front of the field. No one really has anywhere else to go. Bob and weave. Bob and weave is all I have to say.
Yeah, it might have been a combination of having the left side tires right beneath the dotted white line, but he could have had some help as well to kind of help him spin around. And hey, it's just that point in this PlayStation race where there's no give and take, and they're kind of just driving through each other. I mean, there's a couple guys out there that are running a clean, respectful race, but definitely some tempers flaring out there on the racetrack.
Restart once again, 27 laps now to go. I think we're about 50-50 in what we've ran green and what we've ran checkered, caution, but that's okay. Sometimes you have races like that. Moving forward, though, Hamilton, now your new leader. Oh, spoke too soon. Spoke way too soon. Jay Pennell is having a heyday with this right now in the driver chat. I would love to be listening to that. But, again, you've got the Caterpillar Mobile in front of you, riding along here with one of the drivers trying to move forward. Again, I believe we are on with maybe Salzano or Pittman is, I believe, who we're riding along with right now. And he's got Bass in front of him. Smith, some newcomers, though, really starting to make a name for themselves. Granted, again, we've ran a lot of caution laps, Rusty, but you've got 3 newcomers in the top 3. Harbin, who's been around for a while. Giles, who just ran the previous race in the top 5.
Yeah, we talked about this event. This is a key moment for these drivers where you're trying to make a name for yourself. You're on the big stage. You're showcasing not just your abilities, but just how you race out there in the racetrack. So you see Joe West out there running top 3, McMurder, Hamilton. This is a very impressive run. I know it's been kind of chaotic and ugly, but they're in the perfect position right now to kind of run their race and maybe get there to the end. But yeah, this top 10 has a lot of new names and faces. Durasic in 7, Bass, Pittman, Stoney's running your top 10. But I'm just impressed by these guys. so far, we're about halfway through this race.
The 11 making the move of Pittman around the outside of Bass, able to clear him for the 8th spot. Now sets his sights on Durasic, trying to catch himself forward. Again, this would be a good run for some of these newcomers. Those top 3 do lock into the finale. So if you're just now joining us here in the PlayStation race and wasn't able to catch the Xbox race, in that Xbox race, Justin Brooks, Lewis Zader, and Cody Giles locked their way into the finale. And as they run now, Hamilton, West, and now Harbin would be your top 3 lock-ins to the finale. Only one driver, though, getting that NASCAR racing experience, and that's the one that takes the checkered flag. Contact just now with one of the drivers that we were watching from behind with the wall. Holds on to it, but everyone bobbing and weaving behind him. This is like a scary traffic run going down the interstate right now, Rusty.
This is crazy. I think we saw Josh Harbin maybe not give a lot of patience or show a lot of patience to Joe West, maybe a little bit of bump and run and put him up in the outside wall. So Joe West went from running P2 to all the way out of contention. So that's heartbreak for that driver. We talked about, I've ran with that guy many online lobbies. He has the talent and ability to, I think, compete and win races down the road. So his race, unfortunately, not looking good right now, but anything can go. But you see Josh Harbin, he's working his way forward. He's one of our veterans. He's got the experience. He's ran, I think he said 24,000 laps in the game. So you see him. He's not afraid to use that bumper. He's channeling that Dale Senior right there. He's working his way back to the front, but still quite a ways to go. But the cream's kind of rising to the top here. Cody Giles, he advanced in that Xbox race, and now he's back in the top 3 in another advancing position in this race. Somehow found his way there. Just really, really impressive run out of some of these veterans.
And you said it earlier, how cool would a, knock on wood, and I have a wood desk here that you probably just heard me knock on, Cody Giles with a double lock-in would be a pretty cool scenario here early on in the Ultimate Summer Showdown. That would be able to him to shift his focus moving forward in the events to really just go after the win, because he'll be locked in. Harbin as well is someone that we've seen have success in the Pro League, been close before that inaugural year to winning that championship, wasn't quite able to do so, and then his luck just seemed to, I would say, run out in the Winter Heat Series, wasn't really able to get the finishes that he deserved, but this could be a turn point for Harbin in, re-entering the NASCAR Heat scene and running well tonight.
Yeah, Josh Harbin has all the confidence in the world. He's won lots of races, but we're right on board here with Tyler McMurder, running top 5 right now. He started, I believe he actually started P10. That's an impressive run for my buddy Tyler. I know he was confident and excited after his qualifying effort last night and after the practice races. So I think he's really proud of his effort so far today. So it'll be cool to see if he can bring this thing home. Top 5, maybe even work his way into the top 3 and qualify for the finale.
We've got some takers now down on pit road, it looks like. Some drivers really going down on the apron, potentially, which is interesting to see, Rusty. And I could be wrong. I could just have some drivers hanging out down there on the bottom of the apron. We've got 17 laps to go. We had a handful of cautions at the beginning of this race. With all of those cautions leading well into the 30-ish lap mark, I think we're going to have to see some pit takers, right?
Yes, they're definitely going to have to pit. Maybe there's some guys in the back of the pack that are maybe going to try to stretch it, but I think these guys are going to have to come down pit road at least once. You're seeing a couple of takers with 16 to go, so I think they're splitting this run in about half to come down and take 4 tires and gas, but I don't think anybody can make it to the end. And we're still riding on board here with our leader, Forrest Hamilton. He started dead last. I don't even think he put in a qualifying lap, so it's cool to see a guy who's right back to the front. He did take advantage of the yellows, the caution strategy. Just gotta have confidence. He's got the veteran on his heels. Just 1 second gap. Back bump. it was kind of a similar path, but this battle's starting to heat up for about for a transfer spot in the finale. And this is the perfect pack to watch right now. This is for the transfer spot as guys are coming down pit road. But Chase Williamson started on the pole, one of the fastest guys in PlayStation. He's kind of leading the way. He's putting the pressure right there. Oh, that looks like we're getting some pressure from McMurder on the Cody Giles. I got kind of confused with the black car there between the 20 and the 78. But these guys are right where they want to be when they're going to come down and peel off pit road. There we got another onboard look at Tyler McMurder. I don't know if he's on a controller or if the wheel's below his knees, but yeah, impressive run if he's on a controller competing with Cody Giles on that wheel. I believe he does not have gas to get to the end. Maybe he's going to come down for a little splash and go with a couple laps to go for the lead. I feel a little bit of a crank it up right now as we're seeing Jurassic running around in 6th. I just love hearing the engine screaming around Darlington. You feel like you're flying down that backstretch. When you get that exit out of turn 2 and you head down in turn 3, you feel like you're going like 300 miles per hour. So it's every lap you're kind of on the edge of your seat as a driver to make sure you kind of hit your marks. You're flying. And when that guy's on your back bumper right there, like Joe Gornick, a pro league driver, you got to make sure you're hitting your marks big time. But yeah, Joe Gornick, he's impressive here today. He started P2. He's right around in 7th. I think he could maybe improve on that position if this thing plays out to the end on pit strategy. So keep an eye on the 88. If you remember, Gornick, he used to run the 7 for JRM, but now he's in the 88 for Hendricks. So another one of our drivers switching up their cars for the Ultimate Summer Showdown. You see Chase Williamson, maybe he's pulling back up into the racing line right now as things shuffle out. But that's the battle for the lead right there with Josh Harbin and Cody Giles. We got a front row seat. I'll tell you what, I'm starting to get a little nervous. I didn't think they'd have enough fuel to make it to the end, but maybe the way they're pacing this, maybe they outsmarted me. They are the pro drivers, but keep an eye on those guys. I think Josh Harbin is maybe just keeping them right where he wants them and just following them. I see the 21 of Smith get up into the wall just a little bit. That'll be okay. But yeah, Josh Harbin just following the tracks of Cody Giles. But Cody Giles finished top 3 in that Xbox race, so you know he's got the ability. I had a question mark about that coming into this one, but he's showing no signs of fatigue, making no mistakes, and he's running a perfect race. So I'm just really impressed right now with the driver of the 16. You see Mike Bross maybe pulling over for the leaders right there. That's a really respectful move. You don't want to be in their way through the corner. So good job from Mike Bross in the 44 to kind of let Cody go. But looks like the Bear might be running out of fuel. I think the Bear might be running out of fuel, but looks like Cody Giles is coming into pit road for a little splash of gas as the Bear stays out on the racetrack. We'll see what happens here. Kind of the lack of, yeah, they're up to speed right here, so It's showing Josh Harbin still is the leader right now with 2 to go. He must be trying to stretch this fuel. I don't know if he can make it, but keep it on Kohik to kind of steal this thing. We talked about Joe West. He got moved up out of the way by Josh Harbin. So if Josh Harbin runs out of fuel, that could be the battle for the win. But the top 3 are the transfer spot to get to the finale. Oh, man. I'm getting nervous. Oh, no, it looks like we may have lost Hannah for the end of the race as we're on the final lap with Josh Harbin, the Bear. Maybe he planned this thing perfectly. We talked about these drivers that have all the experience, all the laps. They know exactly what to do in any given situation. He might have plotted this thing out to perfection. He had the fuel. He had the car underneath him. Josh Harbin's coming through 3 and 4. Looks like for the final time, I think he's going to bring this home and get the win in round 1 at Darlington. And we're going to take a look at the leaderboard here to see who finishes in the top 3. Looks like Kohik and Joe West are going to round it out. That's a big-time deal for those drivers to make a name for themselves and get to the finale. Really proud of those 2. Looks like Castro's going to come home in 4th here with Bassi, Salzano, Moore in 7th. And you see everybody about a lap down, P8 behind. So they were just on a different strategy, didn't have enough fuel to make it to the end. But congratulations to Josh Harbin and the rest of our top 7 for playing it perfect and making it to the end. Taking a good look here at Thomas Koenig there in the 12 car. PlayStation username JCR Clash, and that's one of our lead drivers from the JCR group. So I'm sure they're proud with their driver in the 12. I love that Blaney throwback from the throwbacks in the game. A couple drivers sporting some pretty cool throwbacks. You see Joey Stone, his nose is completely tore up. His day did not after he lost his pedals, but I think he got back in it, brought it home top 10. But I believe we're going to take a look at some highlights here. As you see me, I'm riding solo in the Motorsport Games NASCAR E5 Traction BenQ Mobius booth. This is that was a race. I'm more, and we're going to take a look at the highlights. What a race. That replay gave me just enough time to kind of catch my breath there. But yeah, congratulations to Josh Harbin picking up the win. We're going to take a look at the results here, but we predicted it coming into this PlayStation race. It might be wild. It might be hectic. We just kind of had something in the air headed into this round 1 at Darlington. Xbox was a little clean, but PlayStation, that was a wild one. So let's take a look at the results. And once again, Josh Harbin brought it home in P1 to advance into the finale. 2 was Kohik, and 3 Joe West. So once again, we got to talk about these new names and faces, kind of showcasing it in the big event at one of the toughest tracks, the track that's too tough to tame, Darlington. So congratulations to our top 3 advancing to the finale. Josh Harbin's actually also going to pick up the NASCAR racing experience. So he's going to get to go to a racetrack of his choice and run the real deal. And that's kind of a dream come true for anyone. Kind of in the virtual world, but it sounds like we're going to take a look at the full results right now. And here we go. Just a story of the day was just caution, strategy, and it played out perfectly for our top 7, specifically Josh Harbin, our winner. But yeah, Maxwell Castro, he had that experience to know what to do to kind of bring it home with the top 5. Daniel Bassi, Grant Solzano, that's a strong finish for him. Tim Moore, that's one of our drivers that ran both the races. So Tim Moore, I think he got 2 top 10s on, between the 2 races. So congratulations, Tim Moore. Joey Stone, P8, not the day he wanted. We talked about his heartbreak, but we got Matt Smith, Forrest Hamilton, Chase Williamson, and Jordan Durasic round out top 12. Looking at page 2 of the results here, Joe Gornick, Keith Pittman, Tyler McMurder. You just see the strategy kind of bite these guys towards the end of the race there, and just kind of didn't play the way they wanted. Matthew Montgomery, Derek Berryman, Cody Giles. Oh, Cody, yeah, Cody must have ran out of gas. We'll have to take a look. Maybe we can talk to him after this race and find out. Mike Bross, we saw him kind of pulling over for the leaders late, finishes 2 laps down. You saw him kind of get turned there late in the race. Chase Durham, Chris Perkey, Willis Young, Adam Isen, and Isaac Smallwood. They're running out your top 24. So not the days they wanted, but it's always a pleasure and a privilege to kind of get into these races and run with the top 24 on PlayStation. So congratulations to everybody in this race. And again, to our winner, Josh Harbin. Yeah, and that, like we talked about how crazy that race is, I think we're going to get a word out of Josh Harbin, today's race winner. At round 1 at Darlington, we're going to kind of get into the mind of him, see his thoughts and kind of his emotions coming away from that win. It's been a while since he's won, so I'm curious just what's going through his mind. We'll talk to him. That's my buddy there, Josh Harbin. We're actually on some public lobbies right now. Last night with the Joey Stone Invitational running Darlington. We're running some heat races, and it was just a lot of fun beating and banging out there with Mike Bross and Tim Moore, so Ward Burton. So a lot of fun last night, and it kind of transferred over into tonight and to finish up front. So looking forward to talking to Josh. But yeah, congratulations again. And I got to say, coming up starting at midnight, we're a few hours away from qualifiers opening for round 2 at Texas. So if you want to be part of races like this, you have your opportunity coming up. And it sounds like Josh Harbin is in the booth. Josh, where are you, man? Josh,
well,
what's
hey.
up?
Hey, what are you saying, brother? Long time no see.
Yeah, well, hey, we talked about it last night. You said you gave us kind of your prediction. You're going to start in the back, not the qualifying effort you wanted, but you had to be there at the end. Talk to me about just your mindset coming in and then the strategy late that kind of put you in position to win.
Oh, yeah, man. Look, with Darlington, track position is king. And, when we started having them early fluid cautions, saw the opportunity to get fuel and saw the opportunity to pick a few spots with 2 tires. And we got up front, got in the lead there, and just kind of stayed our way in the top 5. And then once it got past that last caution, I was like, well, they're going to keep it in their pocket the rest of this race. So we need to tighten it on up a little bit. And I realized I was 2 laps short on fuel, so I wasn't really, knocking those serious laps down. I'd let you guys go and be patient and let the race come to me. And it did, it's just the way it goes,
Yeah, I thought you ran a perfect race. It's cool watching race up front with Cody Giles. And I got to ask, you just won a voucher for the NASCAR racing experience. You got any track circle to run the real deal in real life? What's going through your mind right now?
No, I've run a couple dirt cars here and there in my day, okay. But I hope they got a seat big enough for a bear. That's all I got to say.
And I got to ask you, you do have your ticket punched into the finale in a couple of months. What does that do for just your emotions, your confidence? Are you just going to kind of let it just hang out in the upcoming races? What's the game plan?
Man, I'll tell you what, when I saw this summer showdown coming back up again, because we didn't make the final of the Winter Heat Series, unfortunately. We had a couple things going on, and whatnot. But when I saw Atlanta, remember, I got took out there. In the Pro League earlier this year by somebody. We ain't gonna mention that. But, I get a chance of redemption, and I got a really good car there. So I look forward to getting there and having that opportunity. But I had a lot of things going on with me personally in the off season. I got sick and stuff. I had blood clot and stuff like that. We're getting better. We're getting back to being the bear, being me, and a lot healthier. A little trimmer. Not much, just a few less hamburgers here and there. But this race here, I want to dedicate this race win to Rowdy Harrell and his family. I know Alex Bowman's done it for him a couple times. I'm glad I got to victory lane and pay homage to my friend and my buddy. He's going to be missed. He was one of a kind. And we're thinking about him and his family and his wife, they too. This one's for them. And tip my cap to my old buddy.
Yeah, thank you for Yeah, thank you for those kind words, Josh. That's what it's all about. I mean, racing's a big deal, but your friends and family are what it's all about. So yeah, Josh, thank you for sharing those kind words, and congratulations again to make it to the finale. And it's cool to see you back in the track and happy and healthy again. So we love having you here. Congrats.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all in Atlanta.
Let's go. All right, and we're coming back. We're coming back to the booth. It's just me solo. We lost Hannah, I think, to the hotel internet, but we're wrapping this thing up. One more time. We're wrapping up round 1 at Darlington. Man, what a crazy race. PlayStation, Xbox. I can't wait to do it again. But qualifiers are opening up at midnight for Texas. We're a few hours away. So if you want to be in the next event, the top 24 drivers are going to advance, but we're taking a look at the top 3 that did advance today. Justin Brooks, Lewis Zader, Cody Giles. Those are some heavyweight names. And on PlayStation, Josh Harbin, Thomas Koeck, and Joe West. Those are the 2 bottom names. That can be you at Texas and some of our upcoming races to get into the finale. So I'm just impressed to see kind of just everybody out there on the big stage tonight, kind of showcasing their ability. And I can't wait to come back and do it again. But once again, qualifiers open in a few hours for Texas. They're open May 21st through the 27th. Put those laps in, and hope maybe we'll get to call your name on race day. And from Russell Cox, Rusty Wallers, and Hannah Newhouse, wherever you're at, thank you for joining us here tonight. That was fun, and we'll see you next time.